Okay, so today's little mini sermon is just about the winding path of entrepreneurship and the sometimes need to pivot when things don't seem to be flowing, and to find the path that does allow for things to flow. Because, when we sign up for this thing, I'm sure, like all of you, we had no idea. We have an idea, we start walking on a path, and then we have no idea what's actually going to come up as a result of us saying yes to the journey of entrepreneurship or the journey of creating the vision that we have in our mind's eye. Um, I know for myself, I've stepped into so many things that I've never done before. I've taken risks that scare the hell out of me and faced moments where it feels like quitting would be the much easier and better path to take. Um, and I've also experienced firsthand that when you stick with it through all of these points of resistance, you can build something that's so much bigger than you imagine, so much bigger than just you or a business. And that's what it feels like has happened with Magic Kids and the work that we've done there. Magic Kids originally started as just a homeschooling project with my son and I because we were always making up stories when I was putting him to bed. Some of those stories he got me to retell again and again and again. And then I decided that it was a worthy endeavor as a homeschooling project to start a publishing company. And within the publishing company, we wanted to do the best audio stories on the planet. And then you fast forward 3.5 years later, and we have 50 plus movies for the ears audio stories. We just completed a 93-minute one. We have 800 kids songs licensed. We have a growing library of imagination meditations. We've designed curriculum for every single story. We've worked with close to 300 artists. We probably have close to 200 on our payroll. And all of this stuff is just like we're just learning as we go, making it up. Here's the idea. How the hell do we do the idea? Before we started Magic Kids, I didn't know how to publish a book. Now we have 18 books. I didn't know how to do licensing contracts and pay out royalties or how to track all that stuff. Those are things that we had the intention, we had the idea, and we had to figure it out. I never built a big team. My team was always about 3 people before Magic Kids, and now there's 14 that are on my payroll as part-time to full-time. All of it's been new, but it felt important. It felt exciting and inspiring for me to walk down this path. And it also felt like the best educational opportunity I could offer my son at a young age. And it really has been, for the last 3 years, he and I have co-written 21 stories. He was a part of our writers' room team with the Harmon brothers, and he helped to co-write 31 of the comedy ads that we did with them. He acted in the majority of those. He voice acts in most of our audio stories. I remember at 6 years old, when we got a big shipment of books, we were eating breakfast. He's like, wow, it really takes a lot of work to bring these ideas to life, to go from, the concept of a story to a book in our hand and an audio story in our ears. And for me, I mean, that made it all worthwhile because that was like him understanding the creative process at a cellular level at the age of 6. That if you want to create something awesome in the world, it's fucking hard. It hurts. There's a lot of like setbacks. There's a lot of things that you don't even know that you don't know that you have to figure out that you don't even know the thing along the way. And then you have to figure out how to solve that problem. And, he's seen my struggles of entrepreneurship firsthand. He's watched me navigate challenges, take risks. We've talked about the risks that we're taking as a family. And he's seen us push through a lot of uncertain moments. And despite all of that, he still tells me that he wants to be an entrepreneur because he personally sees it as a path to freedom, freedom of expression, freedom of financial abundance, the freedom to carve your own path in life. And I think that's a pretty cool gift to offer an 8-year-old. So, as entrepreneurs, on this journey for myself with Magic Kids, some of the things we figured out is like I raised $200,000. I had never raised that much money before. We launched an audio entertainment company, never done that before, never produced comedy ads before like we did. We've secured 6 licensing partnerships. We have 8 more in the queue right now. It's like all these things were just like they had to be figured out along the way. And now, this is the first time I've mentioned this publicly, but we're about to take our next big leap, um, as I step into a whole new territory challenge, figuring it out as we go. Um, and We're about to sell a big piece of Majik Kids. I'm walking down the path of selling a big piece of what we've built, because the truth is I can do a lot of things. And I'm sure you all look at what we're doing with Chi Ball and Majik Kids and Magic Media and the partnership project with Magic Media is like I got a lot on my go on my plate. And the truth is, which was a hard pill for me to swallow, I had a bunch of mentorship sessions with friends of mine that have built and sold companies, and I kept hearing this repeat question around like all the things that I'm managing, and am I able to give Magic Kids everything that it needs for it to become the household name that I believe it will be one day? And the answer, which was hard for me to accept, was I don't think I'm the guy to take this world class brand and world class product and turn it into the household name. Um, and so right now I'm working with my team of investors, and we're working on all the financials, the financial modeling, the business plan, the executive summaries, the pitch decks, and all the things. And we're starting to have conversations and look for the right partner that will help run. And I've been calling this in for 2 years, but it seems to be taking shape in a different way than I'd imagined. To find that right partner that can run the business and marketing engine of Magic Kids while I run the creative agency side. And so we're looking for that dream team partnership. We'll be selling a big chunk of ownership, which also came as a surprise to me. But as I've been sitting with this new possibility, a new reality for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and doing all the work to get it prepared, I feel really proud of the asset we've created, and it feels really liberating not to carry this incredible thing on my own shoulders, and to like be calling in the right level of support to do the thing that I've been trying to do for the last bunch of years, and to feel like there is a way for me to stay in the lane of genius that I have the most fun in, and for somebody who has experience in scaling companies to come in and do what they're great at, and for us to have a dream partnership. Um, and so the reason I'm sharing this is because, sometimes the struggle is really real in entrepreneurship, and Magic Kids has been far from easy. There's been a lot of things that we had to figure out, which has caused quite a few sleepless nights for me over the last 3, 4 years. But it's in these moments of struggle or hardship or having to figure out the pivot that we really uh, discover who we are and what we're made of. And so I know for sure I'm not the same person I was 4 years ago when we started climbing the Magic Kids Mountain. And I know I won't be the same person after we sell a big piece of what we've created to the right partner. Because entrepreneurship, whether we like it or not, it forges us, it changes us, it makes us stronger, it makes us more resilient, it makes us more powerful versions of ourselves. And I see this path as a spiritual journey, and I think a lot of you do, and that's why we're here right now. And so I wanted to share this story, and I'll be sharing updates as the weeks unfold because I'm going through a huge growth cycle right now as I prepare all this stuff. Is that if you're struggling, you're overwhelmed right now, just keep coming back to center. That has been my practice for the last 3, 4 weeks, is just keep coming back to center, keep getting back in touch with what really matters. Don't make any decisions from the stress and anxiety. You got to get yourself back to that center space, and maybe you do need to shift priorities, which was the sign that I saw. And when I made the choice to like stop struggling against the current and let myself surrender to what the flow was telling me, it's felt really liberating and extremely exciting. Um, and I think it's just an important thing is like sometimes we're going one direction and we're doing our best, and life is encouraging us to pivot. And, Magic Kids is going through one of those pivots right now. And we actually, um, by through this process of going through all of our financials and everything and really looking at the assets that we've built and placing a value upon them, our model was like finding stories or writing stories and publishing them. But just in this creative process, we've created an entirely new high-end service, which I didn't even think of until like a week ago. So Magic Kids is now going to be as a part of our pivot right now as a way to increase the valuation of the company, as a way to generate more revenue. We're turning the publishing side of the company because we get tons of submissions into a done for you service where people can submit their stories, and if we select them, we'll edit them with them. We're going to do all the production for them, do the all the voice acting, illustrations, help them design their activity books, and then put them through all of our licensing and marketing channels so they can start making money right away. There's a lot of big self-publishing companies out there that don't do all of these services and don't have a pipeline for you to enter into. And we already have six money-making licensing platforms that we're a part of right now, including the Magic Kids app with a bunch more. And so this is a whole new possible revenue stream for us that we're going to be rolling out in the next week or two. And it's because of really just taking an honest look at like everything, like what's working, what are our superpowers? If we were to only do one thing that we're really great at, what would it be? And if we were to pass off the rest, what would that be? And then just designing a model and designing a share structure that's going to allow for my team and I to stay in our zone of genius and allow for the right partner to come in and help us scale the shit out of Magic Kids so that we can actually get this in front of the world. Um, and this is a pretty damn exciting shift. This was very unexpected start to the year. I've received a lot of coaching and support. I have five different friends slash mentors who have all built and sold companies before who are kind of guiding me with the business planning and the financial modeling and all the steps. And uh, yeah, I feel really grounded in the decision to move forward with this. And I just wanted to share this with y'all because maybe you feel like you're paddling against the current, and maybe a pivot is what's needed in your career. Maybe you're already in the midst of your pivot, and this is just confirmation for you. Or maybe you're being called to experiment with a new business model that you haven't tried yet that might help to generate more revenue for you by just leveraging something that you already do naturally or have already created. So hopefully this little show and tell offered some inspiration to everybody, and I will definitely keep you in the loop as the journey continues to unfold in the coming days, weeks, and months. But I have my first couple purchasing conversations coming up, one today, one tomorrow, and another one next week. So pretty exciting to be doing what we're doing. I would like to say that it's all intentional, but it's also, a part of entrepreneurship is it's a survival mechanism. And for me, it's like that survival mechanism is very real. I've been in this for 20 years, and I can feel in my core when things are not flowing and when it's time to make a shift. And that it's time to make a shift.
I love how you have brought your son into the whole thing. And at 6 years of age, he sees the process. And I'm just blown away that that is even possible. You could show that to a 6-year-old. It's just like, what? What kind of a like no limits world are you showing him is phenomenal.
It's pretty cool. And when we came to the decision that we were gonna potentially, sell a big piece of what we've built together, that was a really real conversation. We had to sit them down and be like, okay, this is what could potentially happen, and lay out the pros and cons and the benefits of like if we sell, we get more time together. We'll have a beautiful nest egg of like financial abundance. There'll be more time freedom. I'll be able to invest more energy into his education in this next phase of his childhood. Laying out all the benefits, and at the same time, we'll still be writing stories all the time because that's just something we're always going to do. And yeah, it was an interesting conversation to have with an 8-year-old, trying to help him understand what it means to sell a company, or sell a piece of a company. And I've never built any of my businesses with the intentions of selling them. You know, that's just not what I do. Is just like I just build businesses because it's fun to build things I'm passionate about. And so that alone has been a really fascinating thought experiment around like what could it mean? What does it mean if we sold? What am I really clear on that we're not willing to budge on? And what would feel light and expansive and exciting and aligned with the long-term vision of what we set out to do with Magic Kids from day one of like feeling like it's passing the torch to somebody who can help carry it the distance of where we've intended it to go. Hopefully there were some relevant points to your own story that's unfolding right now. All of us are, I think are still
Yeah.
and
It,
even when we get it, it's like we're still gonna have to discern. Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, thanks for being my therapist today. Y'all feel like you're great space holders. This felt like a nice relief. I wasn't sure how it was going to come out today, and it felt pretty smooth. So, y'all are good therapists. Appreciate it.